Easter eggs are one of the best things that hardened video game fans can find. There's nothing quite like finding a reference to pop culture or even another game while you're immersed in a completely different world. Nintendo games have had quite a number of Easter eggs throughout the years. Let's take a look at the top 5 Nintendo Easter eggs. From ground-pounding gramophones that trigger the original Donkey Kong Country theme, to idle animations of DK whipping out his very own 3DS, the world of Tropical Freeze is positively brimming with hidden gems and gaming references just begging to be discovered. Of course, the most iconic of them all involved a certain intergalactic bounty hunter that helped put developer Retro Studios on the map. Buried in the background of secret-level Busted Bayou, eagle-eyed players can set their scan visors on Samus Aran's gunship, nestled neatly in the trees. Coming in at number 4 is perhaps one of the most touching Easter eggs in video game history. In honor of the late Satoru Iwata's untimely passing, each and every Nintendo Switch console came embedded with a working emulation of Nintendo's NES classic, Golf. A game both programmed and designed solely by Iwata-san himself as one of his first projects for the company in 1984. The game could only be accessed one day out of the year on July 11th, the anniversary of Iwata's death, while performing his patented direct action popularized during his many Nintendo Direct appearances. Quite possibly the most creative use of Joy-Cons we've seen to date, at least until Nintendo Labo messes with our minds later this spring. Unfortunately, all source code attributed to launching the iconic game was mysteriously wiped clean from the console during a recent firmware update, and to this day Nintendo continues to not even acknowledge the game ever existed on Switch. Still, it was fun while it lasted, and if nothing more, a very sweet tribute to a great man who helped mold Nintendo into the super powerhouse it's become today. While some may debate this entry's legitimacy as a proper Easter egg, few could deny the sheer joy felt when Yoshi was first discovered in all his polygonal glory. After collecting all 120 stars in Super Mario 64, a secret cannon located on the beach on the outskirts of Peach's kingdom opened its barrel, containing just enough gusto to launch our plucky plumber atop the castle's roof. Up top was Yoshi taking in the sights and soaking up some sun. Muster up the strength to talk to him, and you were greeted with a special message and gift from the Mario 64 team. 100 one-up shrooms to burn through, and an upgraded triple jump that both sparkled stars and made Mario impervious to fall damage. While seeing this most adorable cameo appearances was undeniably cool, it was also a bummer we couldn't relive those 16-bit glory days riding around the Mushroom Kingdom in style. In fact, it wasn't until the DS remake of Super Mario 64 many years later that we finally got to jump back in the saddle and collect those pesky power stars as Mario's faithful pal. Until then, we'd simply have to settle for a pat on the back and more extra lives than we knew what to do with. Well, that and being able to fly freely around Peach's courtyard. Hey, it was fun for a little while, at least. Back in the early 90s, Nintendo Power held a contest which awarded a randomly selected winner the opportunity to have their name plastered and programmed into a future Nintendo title. The winner ended up being a gentleman by the name of Chris Houlihan, whose name is now forever linked to one of the greatest SNES titles of the past. Much more than a simple shout-out during the closing credits, Nintendo saw fit to give this lucky Lionel his own secret hidey hole for players to discover and interact with. It's interesting to note that the room itself is not an intended part of the normal gameplay, instead used as a crash prevention measure when the game is unable to determine which room our Hylian hero should enter. There are a number of ways to glitch your way into the room, the most common of which involves a series of dashes using the Pegasus boots, beginning at the Sanctuary and working your way down to the sewer passageway that backdoors into Hyrule Castle. Perform each action correctly, and players drop in this most lucrative of locales, where 45 blue rupees lie scattered about, and a telepathic tile reads, "My name is Chris Houlihan. This is my top secret room. keep it between us, okay? You'll only find the message from Chris in the SNES version of the game, though you've got to admit, that's one piece of bar trivia the guy will surely be sharing for years to come. The number one Nintendo Easter egg has to be Totaka's song. It's a simple 19-note and 8-bar melody that Nintendo sound designer Kazumi Totaka is known for, and covertly inserts into most of the titles he's worked on. Whenever a new game comes out, Nintendo fans keep their ears wide open to hear this memorable tune. It's appeared in Mario Kart 8, Yoshi's New Island, most of the Animal Crossing titles, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Pikmin 2, Luigi's Mansion, and much more. So when crafting a list of the best Nintendo Easter eggs, this recurring tune had to be number one. Well, there you have it. Those are the top 5 Easter eggs in Nintendo titles. If you enjoyed this Nintendo Wire Top 5, then you're in luck. We plan to push out a new Top 5 video each and every week. If you have an idea for what you'd like us to rank, let us know and we'll see if we can put it into a future video. I'm Logan Plant, and thanks for tuning in to this week's Nintendo Wire Top 5.